there with the snow covering it now, and just on the other side is the ever-rising Red River rising right up to it. Now, right over here is a mall and several other businesses that are hoping that dikes like these hold up this weekend. Tonight, these areas along the Red River near downtown Fargo and Moorhead are just a series of road closings, detours, and downtown streets piled high with mud as the water continues to come up. They've built everything up just about as high as it can go here and in the neighborhoods along the river, and now it's just simply a matter of waiting for the highest water to arrive, hoping none of their barricades collapse. It snowed here for a couple of hours this afternoon, which is not good news. They don't need any more precipitation, especially since the supply of sandbags was running short. The county's been selling them by the tens of thousands at 30 cents a bag. People keep coming back for more.
Every time we leave the job, they keep coming back and saying the water's coming higher and get ready for it.
Now, no one seems to be able to say tonight how much effect, if any, this snow that we got today will have on the river level. But I can tell you one thing for sure, this snow is not going to melt tonight. It has turned very cold here in Fargo Moorhead. It'll get down to the teens tonight, and in fact, more snow may be in the forecast for later on tonight. I'm Mike Binkley, reporting live in Moorhead.
All right, thank you, Mike. Well, Fargo residents have some tough days ahead of them as the floodwaters continue to rise. Tonight, the water level stands at nearly 33 feet. Now, that is 16 feet above the flood stage. By Monday, the Red River is expected to reach its highest level at 36.5 feet. And upstream, the town of Breckenridge has already seen the worst flooding. Wednesday's level was the highest at nearly 18 feet. And now floodwaters have receded to just over 14 feet.
A Soviet nuclear sub caught fire and sank, and that tops our look at news around the world tonight. We put this map together to show you where it happened. It's about 270 nautical miles north of North Cape, Norway. Now, this is the only picture U.S. officials have of the sub. It's a prototype designed to hunt down and destroy other subs and ships. At least a dozen Soviets died in the fire. Others were rescued by sister Soviet ships nearby. A strange hijacking drama ended peacefully tonight in Ottawa, Canada. A gunman hijacked a Greyhound bus on a trip from Montreal to New York with 11 people on board. He was demanding freedom for political prisoners in Lebanon. The gunman gave up late tonight after a 5-hour standoff. Pomp and circumstance today as Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev ended his visit to Britain. Gorbachev had lunch with the Queen at Windsor Castle, and she accepted his invitation to visit the Soviet Union. That makes history. It'll be the first royal visit to that country since the Tsar's rule. There's no word yet on when she will make that trip.
Well, the massive layoffs at Abbott Northwestern Hospital may signal the beginning of a financial plague.
Tonight in our special coverage, the diagnosis for why area hospitals are falling on such hard times. Eyewitness News was confirmed today. Abbott Northwestern Hospital will be laying off up to 10% of its employees. Hospital officials say they need to cut operating expenses. They plan to eliminate 400 to 500 jobs within the next 2 months. The specific departments where layoffs will occur have not been picked yet, but some workers will be getting the notice of the layoffs in about 2 weeks.
And some are saying tonight that those pending layoffs at Abbott Northwestern Hospital are a sign of what is in store for other Twin Cities hospitals. And one expert even predicts a healthcare brownout unless area hospitals are able to get more money for the services they provide. But with some people saying healthcare costs are already too high, what is going on and what is going to happen next? Tom Garrison reports.
Abbott Northwestern Hospital blames inadequate Medicare and HMO reimbursements for not keeping pace with inflation or the actual cost of medical procedures. But in reality, local hospitals have been on a financial treadmill for a decade now. In 1980, there were 35 acute care or full-service hospitals in the metro area. Now there are just 26. There have been mergers and changes to specialty-type hospitals, but through it all, there are still too many beds and not enough people in them. Like this ear tube surgery, there has been an explosion in outpatient treatment. The average hospital stay is down from over a week 9 years ago to just over 4 days for HMO patients. And through 1987, not quite half of our area hospitals were losing money. Industry spokesmen put the blame on what they call a schizophrenic, always-changing approach to paying for health care by the federal government.
There's a real concern about the potential for there to be, I guess what I would term a real brownout of the medical care system in the Twin Cities and in the state of Minnesota. If hospitals and other providers are not getting reimbursed anywhere close to their costs.
But other experts say that there will have to be more cutbacks, layoffs, and mergers to separate the strong healthcare providers from the weak. And money alone may not solve the problem. Those experts say that hospitals will have to concentrate on what areas of medicine they do best and let others fill in the gap. That could leave us as customers and patients wondering where to go next. Tom Garrison, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Do you believe this?
Winter is back.
It's supposed to be spring, but old man Winter's planning a surprise visit to Minnesota.
And those people who work outside cannot believe it.
Hey Dave, is it really gonna snow tonight?
Meteorologist Dave Dahl will have the white weekend forecast next. Well, rumor has it that winter is on our doorstep.
What is this?
You know,
Did we
that's
miss
no-
summer? Did I go to sleep for too long, or what?
Yeah, this happens. This is kind of normal for spring. We get these little bursts of snow now and then. Mike Binkley snow that we had up there in the Fargo area, well, it's just about there. It's just on the northwest side of the Twin Cities, just about ready to head in this direction. Now, we've been talking about 100-degree plus heat in L.A. for the last several days. Well, they cooled off a little bit today. This is the beach just outside of L.A. 93. What a beautiful high there. But misery loves company, so I wanted to show you a little bit in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yeah, they had snow that far south, and that's what our grass and trees and cars and everything will look like by tomorrow morning, right here in the Twin Cities. Maybe an inch or two on grassy areas. Yeah, it should melt, Randall, that's true. Outside right now, though, 48 for the temp, the dew point 28, 62% for the relative humidity. Northwest wind at 10, that's going to really increase over the next several hours as it really picks up and brings in the cold air. 29.76 is the barometric pressure, and that is steady. Today's high actually is the current reading, 48 degrees. 47 was the earlier high. 23 this morning's low, and no rain or snow officially out at the airport yet. However, that'll probably change within the next hour or so. And weather cam gets out and shows you what it looked like outside. This was just taken a short while ago. Outside Minneapolis, no snow yet, right? However, it's very close. Looking at the KSTP Color Radar Live, you can see that that activity is right now on the northwest side of the Twin Cities, stretching all the way from north and west of Pine City, right down through the northern metro, and from there down to about the Minnesota River, north of Mankato, and it's all spreading south and eastward at around 20 miles per hour, so expect a little rain first, but then it should become all snow very shortly after that time, and that'll probably spread across the metro within the next hour and a half or so, and really drop the snow very quickly and then end toward morning. High temperatures tomorrow, it's going to feel a lot more like late winter than early spring, with highs only in the 20s across northern Minnesota, 30s down here in the south, only mid-30s the way it appears here in the Twin Cities. Real warm again down the southwest, highs in the 90s, maybe even topping close to 100 in the desert southwest. Forecast map for tomorrow then shows a low-pressure system, the one that's going to scoot through our state tonight, drop the snow very quickly. It's going to be over Wisconsin, northern Illinois tomorrow. That still has the possibility of 2 to 4 inches in southern Wisconsin, so if you're traveling to that direction, please be advised of the latest forecast. There could be some very slippery roads there. But for us, partly cloudy skies, a little sunshine is going to help out tomorrow, even though it's going to feel awfully blustery with very strong north winds. Forecast for them for overnight tonight, cloudy, colder, rain and snow, mostly snow after midnight, 22 to 25, south winds at about 10 to 15, maybe an inch or so on grassy areas toward morning. Flurries and cold as you wake up, 25 degrees, could be a white coating on much of the grassy areas. Partial clearing, though, still cold Saturday afternoon, 32 to 35. Then the outlook for Saturday night, partly cloudy and very cold, 16 to 20. And the outlook for Sunday has temperatures staying about the same, 32 to 35, maybe a snow shower even in the afternoon. The outlook then for the beginning of next week, maybe up to 50 by Wednesday. We could be into the 60s by Thursday and Friday.
You're going to knock my socks off with these facts.
These facts are kind of interesting. 5 weather facts have some... Now, raise your hand if you think this was warmer than normal. So far this month, we've been 2 degrees above normal. Do you believe that?
Okay.
Okay.
That didn't knock my socks off.
That didn't. Last year on this, I thought that one would. Last year on this date, it was 76.
That does.
That's the record high for the date. To this date last year, we were 39/100 of an inch below normal. Well, so far this year, we're almost that same amount above normal. That's good news. We need the moisture. Season snowfall, 69.2 inches so far this season. That is only 3.5 inches below 10th place.
That's pretty good, too.
What do you mean so far this season?
Yeah. That's what he means. How about your report card? Is that going to surprise us?
That's going to knock your socks off today, Randall. 43 to 48, we were calling for mostly cloudy skies, no snow until evening, and that's just what's happening. 47 was the high today.
What do you get? An A.
Very quick. Do you see how quick that was?
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. They stay on the C. They don't stay on the A. They should. People with disabilities like us to focus on what they can do rather than what they can't. Well, there are all kinds of examples of talented artwork done by disabled artists on display right now. Here's a look at an art show at the Sister Kenny Institute in Minneapolis. It's beautiful. If you'd like to check it out in person, the display continues through the month. That caught me off guard. When last I joined the Twins game, they were down 2-0. So
they came back a little bit.
A little bit or a lot?
They came back a lot. You turned it off at the wrong time. You know, I like the formula so far this year. They've done it the same way 3 nights in a row now. Great pitching and 1 big inning. Tonight it was a 6-run sixth. Roy Smith was the winner here. Striking out Phil Bradley, Smith went 6 strong innings to pick up his first regular season victory. Here's that 6th inning I was telling you about, down 2-0. This is when Randall turned it off. Gary Gaetti dribbles a 2-run single between short and third to score Backman and Puckett to tie it, and then Randy Bush followed with a shot to deep right. This looked like a home run, but it went off the shower curtain and right. Scored Herbeck and Gaetti as the Twins make it 3 in a row. The final score, 8-3.
Well, I think that's the way the Twins have been playing in the past. You know, we just, you know, first couple times around, we just see what he's got and then put it all together and have that big inning. So I think that's an indication of what the Twins are capable of doing this year.
That's great. When you can bunch your hits together, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
By the way, I forgot to tell you one small detail. They were playing Baltimore tonight. Tell you what,
Don't worry.
unimportant. This is a great story in the making. Lee Trevino continues to hang on to a share of the lead after 2 rounds of the Masters. And here's what I like about the guy. Multi-millionaire, but he picks up golf balls out of the lake, just like you and me. I mean, this guy doesn't have to do this, but it's something I can relate to. Now, Trevino, after struggling on the front side today, putting for birdie on number 12, it's trickling down there. It's in the hole. He's back to -3 and tied for the lead with Nick Faldo, who got off to a strong start but faded on the backside. And have you taken a look at this course and the greens? Believe it or not, a local company, the Ringer Company, has supplied all of the fertilizer for the greens down there over the last couple of years. So there's nice to know there's a little touch of Minnesota down there at the Masters. The North Stars are back at home tonight, certainly not in the position they wanted to be in. Down 2-0 to St. Louis. And if nothing else, the Stars have shown that they can play with these guys, but in order to beat them, Pierre Paget told us that their attitude has to change.
I mean, the guys want to win, and they forget to do what it takes to do. They have to show a little more desperation. I need more. We need more guys that just want to win at all costs.
North Stars in St. Louis, Game 3, coming up tomorrow night at the Met Center. Gopher football team wrapped up spring practice today. We went down there to check it out for you. They couldn't have the annual maroon and gold game this year because it didn't work out with the Metrodome schedule, but apparently all of the coaches were pretty happy with what they saw this spring. John Gutekunst told us he was so involved with today's workout that, well, he sort of lost track of time.
I think the squad made a great stride forward. We went 159 scrimmage plays. That means the head coach lost a little track of the count, but I think one of the reasons that happened is number one, they were competing so hard and they were going so well back and forth with the give and take offense and defense that they really wanted more.
Let me check out some scores for you real quickly. And by the way, all of the NHL playoff games resume tomorrow night. American League, the Yankees lose their 3rd straight. Detroit hammers Milwaukee. Boston leading KC. Toronto trailing Texas. Seattle tied with California. And Oakland scoreless against Chicago. National League, the Cubbies beat Pittsburgh. San Francisco tied with Cincinnati. The Mets lose to Montreal. St. Louis rained out against the Phillies. Dodgers lose to Atlanta. And San Diego leading Houston in the 8th. Look at the Masters scoreboard. Trevino and Faldo tied for the lead at 3 under 141. Then a quartet including Sevy and Ben Crenshaw at 143.
And the Twins played Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, the weekend is here, and many of you probably are going to the grocery store. I know I have a list I have to get to.
Fortunately, but you know what they say, never go shopping on an empty stomach because you'll buy more than you need. But one store has a way to beat that rule. Find out how in tonight's Heart of the Cities.
Come on over and try our oat bran muffins, big, fresh daily in the bakery. Come on, kids, you want to try?
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
But today, Steve Hartman found the next best thing. As he reports in tonight's Heart of the Cities, the portions may be a little small, but the company more than makes up for it.
Let's take a spin. Right down aisle 11 in the Cub Foods in Cottage Grove and meet a woman named Dorothy. We don't have any choice, really.
We have oat bran muffins for you today. These are the oat bran muffins with the no cholesterol spread. These are the oat bran muffins with the butter.
Dorothy Swanson meets everyone who walks down aisle 11. That's part of her job as one of those free sample giver-awares, or whatever you call them. You know, the people who give out the tea and the pizza and the... what is that? I can't see. Bratwurst, I guess. Anyway, you've seen them.
That's supposed to fight cholesterol.
That's right.
And in the world of free samples, Dorothy is queen.
Come on, kids, you want to try? That a girl, help yourself. The kids are good salesmen.
What do you mean?
They keep after the mom until the mom finally says, okay, get a package, you know.
Sneaky, huh? After 8 years doing this, Dorothy knows all the tricks.
You're falling for this?
Mm-hmm.
See, she bought Dorothy's muffins. Then again, she also bought Bernice's bratwurst. She's an easy sell, but not everyone is.
There's a lot of people coming through here that just come here to eat. They don't buy.
That's true. A lot of people sample, but don't buy.
Step over and have a taste here. We have oat bran muffins for you.
Some people don't even sample.
Well, so goes it.
But you have to understand Dorothy. She used to be a bookkeeper. She used to have a job where she had to be quiet and keep to herself. So, quite frankly, she doesn't care if you talk to her or not. She says she just likes talking to you.
Oat bran muffins over here today.
Stupid.
Voices are raised, passions are high, and slowly but steadily, the